What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans and gentlemen, we are talking about my guy, Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora, as there's been some funny stuff going on, man, in boxing lately. If you haven't been paying close attention to it, it's been recently reported that ESPN will be pulling out of the sport of boxing. That's right, y'all. After years and years of ESPN essentially working with Top Rank, that would no longer be the case, as it is not financially conducive to ESPN to be working with boxing any longer. There are no up and coming superstars that generate the public interest. As far as marketability, as far as anticipation, nobody on the up and up is generating that kind of attention. And even the guys now that are household names aren't fighting the other best, the other household names, respectfully. The best of the best is what I'm trying to say. They're not fighting each other. What we have now is a constant cycle of the best fighters finding guys that they can beat, undoubtedly, and they're taking these one-sided fights in order so that they can receive paydays, while leaving the sport of boxing and fans and promoters and all of the people that put their actual hard-earned money into the boxing, into these fight matches, I should say. They're getting their bag while leaving everybody else, empty, nothing in return, no excitement, nothing to talk about these fights. And it's starting to, the residual effects of that is starting to fall in place. As my guy, Errol Spence, had his fight, has been pushed back multiple times now. From what I've been hearing, it's been pushed back all the way to March. Now, I criticized Tank Davis for this very thing as well. But ultimately, it's because the PBC can't find any investors or anybody to generate interest outside of a distributor, because Amazon Prime has gave PBC a distributor deal, which would only means that they would show the fight, but Amazon Prime isn't putting any of their own money into these fights. They're not helping find investors for these fights, and it's mainly because it's a waste of energy, time, and resources. Nobody wants. I mean, I'll say this though. I think this Errol Spence versus Sebastian Fundora fight will do numbers. Will generate interest, especially considering the size difference between these two fighters, as you can see in the visual. But ultimately, it's over, man. It's over, And I made a video talking about this when I reported that ESPN will be pulling out of the sport of boxing. Just as far as this is on the fans, man. This is really on the fans of boxing, or the quote unquote fans of boxing, I should say too, because there's a lot of stands, fanboys, a lot of dudes in the sport of boxing that don't belong here, that just ruined it. Oh no, sorry guys. I'm uploading the video while I'm doing the video. The work don't stop. But nonetheless, this is on the fans that we're getting these delays from fights that we actually want to see. I actually want to see Errol Spence back active, but the fact of the matter that, HBO pulled out of boxing a long time ago. Showtime pulled out of boxing recently. These guys don't have a distributor. They don't have the investor. They don't have the money to get these fights going. And from what I'm hearing, Errol Spence ain't taking a dime less than what he's worth. Although the money isn't on the table for that, he's not, negotiating his worth and his value, and I don't blame him. So what's happened is that Sebastian Fundora and his team have moved on to begin negotiations with Virgil Ortiz. The young, I believe, I'm not sure if Virgil Ortiz is a Mexican fighter, but the young prodigy, last I heard, was for Virgil Ortiz was in the welterweight division. I think he may have moved up to 154 by now, but that's the next, fight that they're eyeing. And Sebastian Fundora and his team are working with Turkey Al Sheikh to make this fight happen. of all people. You know, the guy that everybody has a criticism about. I want to say there's all these fake boxing fans, the same guys that's ruining boxing, you know, as far as allowing these boxers to have these one-sided fights, these predictable outcome fights. Those same fans are the same guys that's attacking Turkey Al-Sheikh for trying to, you know, essentially save boxing at this point. That's all it is, man, because you know, I've been wanting to report on this fight for some time, but there's been no solid news coming out about it. It's just been rumors. It's just been, you know, speculations. Only thing that I've been hearing consistently is that the fight has been moved back. As the last time I heard this fight was supposed to be going down was in October. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in November at the recording of this video, exactly the middle of November. Today is November 15th. So this fight was supposed to go down in October. Before then, I heard September at some time when it first happened, when it was first announced in March, I believe it was. Errol Spence, when he got in the ring and they took this very picture in the video, when Errol Spence got in the ring, that was March. So I can't recall exactly. I think they had said the fight would go down in September at that time. But here we are in November, and the news has it that this fight is being pushed back to March, and it's just because the state of boxing, man, is sad right now. It's sad. We can't even get the fights that we want to see, let alone the fights we don't want to see, because these dudes have really, you know, effed up the bag. Let's just call it what it is, and the fans have endorsed it. I can't put this on Errol. The two culprits I put this on mainly is Canelo Alvarez and Tank Davis. For years, these two dudes have been playing this game of booking predictable outcome fights where they fighting some tomato can, some dude that's not on their level. Wow, mind y'all, the guys that actually deserve a fight versus them, the guys that actually put in the work, the dudes that actually have a household name, yeah, those guys, the Canelos of the world, the Javante Tank Davises of the world, they come up with every excuse in the world, every excuse in the book as to why they won't fight the other best of the best. They you know, they got an excuse. You know, these guys ain't got enough pay-per-view sales. They ain't got enough this. They ain't got enough that. But then they will fight a guy that has less than the other household name. Point in case, Javante Tank Davis, what's that dude named? Leonard Ellerby. They said for years that Devin Haney has to get his pay-per-view sales up. He's got to get all of this up. Devin Haney don't sell, this, that, and the third. But then they went and fought Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia ain't have a pay-per-view to be sold, or any kind of real attention outside of social media. But if you want to even go lower than that, this man said all of that about Devin Haney, and then went and fought Frank Martin. Frank Martin ain't got a quarter of the stuff that Devin Haney has. And I'm talking championships, attention, pay-per-view sales, not even a quarter of what Devin Haney has. He said all of that about Devin Haney, and now he's fighting Lamont Roach, which that fight has been postponed multiple times now. So it just goes to show, man, like this is crazy. And Canelo, his most recent fight versus Edward Berlanga, come on, bro. I predicted exactly how that fight was gonna go down. I did not watch that fight until like a week later after it happened. You know, just because I couldn't bring myself to watch it and support it in any kind of way. But I predicted that fight exactly, and it went down exactly how I said it. And I didn't see any previews, promotions, nothing like that. I just knew that it was going to be a 12-round unanimous decision where Edward Berlanga, you know, he fought his little heart out. Canelo was going to be able to, you know, outmaneuver him, outclass him at some points in the fight, and Canelo was going to win with the unanimous decision, and that's exactly how the fight went down. So, and I didn't watch it. I mean, I watched it a week later, but before I watched it, that's what I said in my prediction. Y'all can go back and see it. It's on record, and that's exactly how the fight went down. You know, so and it's just, you know, if us as the fans are tired of it, who don't invest, you know, we might invest what, $80 to $100 on a pay-per-view if you support these dudes. You know, as I don't know how far y'all go at supporting them. I've bought some Errol Spence merch before, you know, the Big Short, Big Fish merch. So you might invest a lot of money into these boxers, into these guys, and their brands, and just to be left holding the bag after your favorite fighter fought a dude that was supposed to, that he was supposed to beat is getting out of hand. We honored these boxers when they beat guys that they had a chance of losing. Back in my era, if you had a 50-50 fight, you had a chance of losing that fight and you won, there was a lot more glory that came with that versus Tank Davis knocking out Frank Martin, and everybody knows he's going to knock out Frank Martin. There's no glory in that. There's just no nothing to be excited about in that. So uh, I kind of ran around the circle a little bit, but just to bring it back to this Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora fight, Errol, he has not been in the ring since last year, since his fight against Bud Crawford, which was his first loss. Um, Probably one of the worst performances I've seen from a boxer, and I hate to say that because it came from my favorite boxer. But, respectfully, it was bad, and he has not been active since. He has not been in the ring versus Bud Crawford. He's been in the ring doing his thing, still in shape, still active, still pursuing fights. We have not even seen half of that from Errol Spence. So I was loving I was loving the rumors anyway that Errol was going to get back in the ring. There's actually been several rumors of Errol getting back in the ring. He was supposed to get the rematch with Bud Crawford after said fight last year, but apparently he had an eye surgery and all this kind of stuff going on with him. So that fight got pushed back or postponed or done away with. We don't know. I don't know specifically what's going to happen with that fight. Terrence Bud Crawford said no, to the rematch as well. Long afterwards. At first he said yeah, but after some time passed, he said, he's good on it. So again, I was just excited to see Errol back active. I'm excited to see Sebastian Fundora as well after that great match he had against Tim Tszyu. I want to see if he was going to keep that energy going for himself. But we'll see, man. We shall see how this plays out. As far as I'm hearing right now, Sebastian Fundora and his team have moved on from the Errol Spence fight, and they are looking to, to schedule a fight versus Virgil Ortiz. So we'll see if that news grows legs. We'll see if any more news about this Errol Spence Sebastian Fundora fight comes out, but it may look like a done data, y'all. It may look like a done data, and we may have to wait even longer now, as Errol Spence has been out of the ring 2 years. Yeah, no, that won't. It's already November, so by July, it's a year and a half right now. Exactly about a year and a half, uh, and by the time Errol books a fight and gets some momentum going, training camp, all that stuff, it could be upwards of 2 years since he's been in the ring. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully that's not the case, but we shall see. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. Please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to hear about what you all have to say about these topics. I'm Tony the Savant. Peace.